All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachak Kwadash. I want to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right, now I came across an article on RT News, very relevant, to the future of digital technology, digital identity, biometrics, and the framework of the New World Order, all right, which is going to be completed by you, by the citizen. Okay, so check this out. Let me see here. CV certificates could lead to global identity document used for all aspects of life. Human Rights NGO warns. Okay. So it says here, CNTV's programs being launched around the world to open the door to new forms of identification that could lead to greater government control over daily life. It says Privacy International has cautioned in a report. In its analysis, the UK-based human rights group said that V-cards and immunity passports being issued by some governments could pave the way for digital identity schemes and other forms of ID. All right? That's important right there. Remember that. Digital identity schemes. Matter of fact, let's look up what that means. All right. What is a digital identity scheme? Okay. All right, let's try the failsgroup.com. Top 5 digital ID trends shaping 2020. Digital identity trends, 5 forces that are shaping 2020. All right, this was published around last updated October 17th, 2020. And it already shows the digital identity where it has, your information, confidential data, personal data, your name, home address, business address, identity card number, passport number, driver's license, and so on and so forth. V card, stuff like that. Salakia. Okay, so it says digital identity is well and truly established as one of the most significant technology trends on the planet. Indeed, for a growing number of public stakeholders and citizens, it's already a day-to-day reality. As a result, a revolution in the way that individuals interact with public institutions is underway. Okay, and the private sector is fast getting into the act too. So it's something that's really a growing trend. So it says, what is digital identity? Digital identity is a set of validated digital attributes and credentials for the digital world, similar to a person's identity for the real world, usually issued or regulated by a national ID scheme. A digital identity serves to uniquely identify a person online or offline. Okay? So, as the world increases in their technology, smart cities, all right, smart countries, all right, what's going to happen is that the trend of the individual's way of identifying themselves is going to increase too. All right. For instance, you had the real ID. You had the real ID card. Nowadays, you could present your credentials on your telephone. And from there, guess where that can go? Because your telephone has in it what's known as a RFID or near field communication chip. All right, that could easily that has all that information. And guess what you could do with modern technology? You could take all that info and put it in the individual's hand to secure, uh, uh, um, um, to make it more secure, because anybody could steal a cell phone. You know, we're in that time, and that's the direction that the world is headed into. Okay. Now, I just wanted to get that definition. So, it says here, while countries like the UK insist that such documents are simply used to keep a record of these and remind people when they need to receive a second dose of the drug, Privacy International detailed how the seemingly benign cards, which on their face appear unnecessary, could evolve into something quite different. It says the group said that if these ever become a requirement, all right, which they will, or are used to grant certain privileges, there becomes a need to verify any related documents, essentially turning the card into a pass. All right. And then plus, like I said, with trends and digital trends taking over and evolving, all right, the more we go along, okay, it's inevitable that all this information is going to become digital. Okay. So it says, and that's when it becomes an identity document. And once you have multiple uses, all right, in multiple countries, okay, then we are approaching a global identity document needed to live your life. Okay. So like you can see the framework that Esau Edom, or being the so-called white man, is setting up globally. And you could see the framework as all this technology arises, and the only thing that's needed to complete this framework, all right, is you. Okay? And that's when, they roll out that RFID, radio frequency identification chip. Matter of fact, let's see if there's even a little bit more to read back here. Okay? It says national ID schemes increased in number, visibility, and reach. All right, it says the United Nations, World Bank initiative set a goal of providing everyone on the planet with a legal identity by 2030. At the ID 2020 summit, May 2016 in New York, the UN initiated discussions around digital identity, blockchain, and cryptographic technologies. Okay, that's where you get your cryptocurrency. All right, this is all very relevant to the framework of the technological advances that the New World Order is going to require. Okay, it says, and the benefits for the underprivileged. It says 400 experts share best practices and ideas of how to provide a universal identity to all. Okay, so soon after the ID 2020 Alliance was created, based in New York, the NGO's main participant included Accenture, Microsoft, Gavin, the V Alliance, the Rockefeller Foundation, blah, blah, blah. And they're including all of these different electronic ID programs with all these countries. All right, Kyrgyzstan, Jordan, Italy, all right, Iran, Japan, so on and so forth. So, the world is on board for this, okay? And they're just listing all the countries that are down with it. All right. And this is what we were talking about before too. Smart borders, smart airports, all right, emerged at a faster pace, combined with the 1 billion e-passports now in circulation and a strong push behind biometrics, okay, particularly facial recognition. It says they offered travelers a taste of cross-border movement that is as secure as it is swift and seamless. All right. So this is where they're trying to. This is the direction they're trying to go in. So back to the article here. All right. It says not forced but compulsory. All right. Brazil Supreme Court paves the way for sanctions for refusing the C9T jab, man. So it says several countries have already signaled that they intend to use V certificates or passports to regulate what people can and cannot do. All right. And that's key. That's the key scripture where we're going to go to. Okay? Because what you can or cannot do, all right, pretty much represents a transaction. Okay? Now, let me grab this. Everything you can and cannot do, even traveling. All right, when you go to an airport and you buy a ticket, that's a transaction. Okay. So Revelation 13 and 16, it says, and he causeth all right, he being the beast, all right, the Edomite, all right, with his rulership over the NATO and the EU, okay, he had, it says, he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. All right, that mark represents a physical incision. Okay, because they're gonna they want to get that cell phone out of the way. They want to make you. They already consider the cell phone an extension of ourselves. So how much more so we have it integrated with our body in a form of transhumanism. Okay. But here's the point right here, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell except he that have the mark. Okay. All right, or the number, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay, so that no man might buy or sell except for him that have the mark. And that's what these V9T jabs are all about anyway. All right, because that's a way to gain control over the people. And once you establish a national ID, it never goes backwards from there. Okay, that's the thing. Like you hear the terms going on out there, all right, about the new normal. Okay, things aren't going back; they're only going to progress forward. Okay, and that's going to be the mark of the beast, man. And the judgment. If you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans take it, okay, you're going to be destroyed according to Revelation, the 14th chapter in the 9th and 10th verse. Okay, so I just want to bring that out. A little quick impromptu lesson here. They want V certificates and a global identity document. Okay, these are all clever words to suggest. All right, an RFID card, a RFID chip, ultimately one day implanted in humans. Okay. So, Lord willing, I was edifying. With that, I want to say shalom to the elect.